Hi everybody, welcome back. If you're seeing me, that means it's time to start doing yoga. Unroll your mat, grab your props if you'd like to use them, and I'll see you right back here. Hi again. Let's start today on our belly. Please remember to modify your practice as it makes sense. Challenge yourself where you can, back off as needed. If you need, we will start in a brief child's pose. Separate your knees, toes together. Reach the arms straight forward on the mat. Turn the palms face up in an open gesture of receiving. If you prefer, you can always reach the arms back behind you instead. Let yourself just take a moment as you settle into space and maybe shift the hips just a little. Soften the shoulders a little bit. And bring awareness to your breath. Try keeping it moving in and out through the nose as best you can. And even though we are officially in the spring season, if you like to engage a gentle ujjayi breath to heat things up a little bit, feel free to do so. All right, that's that gentle snoring sound at the back of the throat. Let's take another deep breath or two right here. And flip the palms over, come up to hands and knees. Bring the knees in a little bit. Let's lay down on the belly. So come forward, lay all the way down, come into a brief Sphinx pose, slide the hands forward, hug the elbows in a little bit. And draw the shoulders back, keep the chest lifted, gaze softly past the nose. Let the collarbones broaden out a little bit to the left and to the right, keeping the fingers spread wide without actually moving your hands back towards you, or actually without moving your hands at all. Just energetically draw the hands, the fingertips towards you so you feel your chest lift a little bit more. Just brings a little bit more activity, a little more action to the static stretch. Let's hold for one more breath. Loosen just a little bit. Bring your left arm in slightly. Take your right fingertips to the mat to your right side. So your right elbow points up toward the sky. Take a little stretch over to your right side without crowding out your ears with the shoulders, right? Keeping the chest lifted, the head up. Take one more breath. Return to center, both forearms on the mat. We'll go the other way. Your right arm, right hand slides in just a little. Left fingertips to the mat to your left elbow pointing up. Draw a little bit more towards your left side, a little twist, little opening stretch. Give it another full breath. Felt my back crack nicely there. Let's come back to center. Reach the arms back behind you. You can keep the tops of the feet on the mat. Interlace all 10 fingers behind the back. Press the palms together as best you can. Squeeze the shoulder blades together a little bit, then lift up off the mat. So the chest comes up. You're gazing softly past the nose, and let's hold for another full breath. And lower down, hands to the mat, opposite sides of your chest. Come onto hands and knees. Let's take downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. And of course, when you get here, your first down dog, if you want to walk out the feet, go for it. If that helps you to wake up the legs, sometimes it feels like the better option, sometimes not, so that's up to you. And just stay with the breath, keep it fired up. Let the shoulders move a little bit away from the ears, and we'll hold for one more breath. Lift up the right leg, put a bend in the knee, let the hip roll open, relax the head down, and keeping your right shoulder dropping down, take a peek under your left arm. Maybe make circles with your right foot or point flexing your foot, just getting motion or action rather at your ankle. All right, remember there's a difference between movement and action. Action is actually getting things done. Movement is simply busy work. Slow it down. Let's level the hips. Step to low lunge. Bring your foot through the hands. Anjaneyasana, lower your back knee. You can bring both hands to your right thigh as the chest lifts up. Soften the shoulders back. Draw the hips forward. Feel the tailbone lengthen down. Looking past your nose, inhale, sweep the arms up. Relax the shoulders and maybe look up between the hands. Let's hold for another deep breath. Look straight ahead, tucking your back toes if they're not already tucked on the mat. Lift into high lunge. So press down, lift up. Again, maybe try looking up between the hands. Take another deep breath. Look straight ahead, straighten the right leg as you lengthen, lifting up toward the sky. Put a bend in the right knee, sweep the arms back as you lean in to a nice lengthening stretch. Lifted lunge, I guess somewhere in between a low lunge and a high lunge. Press down, then sweep the arms up as you lift up, straighten the right leg, lift. Put a bend in the knee, sweep the arms back, lean in. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, come up, straighten the leg. Exhale, bend, sweep. 1 more. And bend. Bring it all the way back up as you straighten the right leg. Keep the arms lifted. Bend at the right knee. Let's settle into a low lunge twist. Lower your left hand down. Keep your right arm reaching up. Look toward the right. Maybe peeking up at your right fingertips, and hold for another deep breath. Fascisthasana, side plank pose. Feel free if you want to look down just as we transition. Stack your right leg on top of the left. You'll face the right side of the room. And of course, you can modify your side plank any way that you choose. Let's hold for 1 more breath. Come back to center plank. Lower your right forearm onto the mat and come into a modified side plank, face the left side. So the left leg on top, reach high, maybe look up. One more big inhale. Then come to center, forearm plank. Both forearms on the mat. All right, arms parallel to each other. Let's lift up and back into dolphin pose. So walk the hands, the arms back a little bit as the hips lift up. And draw the shoulders back, keeping your forehead, the top of the head off the mat as you gaze toward your feet. And your chest lengthens toward your thighs. And take one more breath. Come onto hands and knees as a way of transitioning. Knees down, come up onto hands and knees. Let's do a little cow pose. Tucking the toes, eyes up as you arch into a little back bend. Cat pose, round it down, untuck the toes, head down. Inhaling, arching, tuck the toes, eyes up. Down dog, hips up and back. Soften the shoulders out of the ears. One more breath. Switching the sides, we'll lift the left leg, bend the knee, open the hip, head down. Keep the left shoulder drawing down, peek under the right arm, and if you did it on the first side, you can make circles with your left foot at the ankle joint or point flex the foot. Just getting some action happening as the synovial fluid lubricates the joints, or just the one ankle joint. Then slowing it down, level the hips, low lunge, step through the hands, lower the back knee, hands to your left thigh, chest up, sink the hips forward if there's room to comfortably do so, tailbone down. Soften the shoulders back. Let's sweep the arms overhead. And maybe look up if you want to give it a shot, or just keep looking straight ahead. Give it one more breath. Let's all look straight ahead, tucking the back toes if they're not already tucked. Lift into high lunge, pick up the back knee. Maybe try looking up again in between the hands. One more breath. Look straight ahead. Straighten the left leg as you lift to the sky and lengthen. Rebend the left knee. Sweep the arms back. Reach forward into your leaning lunge. Press down, come up, straighten the left leg and reach. Two more like that. Exhale, arms back, lean forward. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bend, lean. Good. Bring it back up. And just bend up at the left knee. High lunge. Low lunge twist. Lower your right hand. Keep the left arm lifting. Opening to the left side. Peek left. Maybe peek up at your fingertips. Give it another deep breath. Vashisthasana, side plank. If you want to look down first, feel free. Roll to the outer right foot, stack the left leg on top. And of course, you can modify any way you choose. One more breath. Bring it back to center plank. Lower your left forearm onto the mat. We'll do a side forearm plank, face the right side, right leg on top. Reach high, look up if you can. One more breath. Lower your right hand, return to center, forearm plank. Forearms down, arms parallel to each other, chest forward, shoulders back. Dolphin pose, walk the hands back a little as the sit bones lift up, almost like your down dog, but with your forearms on the mat. Draw your chest toward your thighs. Keep the top of your forehead, crown of the head off the mat. Looking back between the feet. And we'll take one more breath. Come onto your knees. Come onto hands and knees. Let's take a brief child's pose again. Separate the knees, toes together. Relax your hips back. You can either keep the arms reaching forward, or if you want to relax the arms a little bit, relax the shoulders, you can sweep the arms back behind you, yogi's choice. Two more breaths right here. One more. Come back onto hands and knees. Bring it back to downward facing dog. Lift up the right leg high. Step to low lunge, bring your foot through the hands. Turn your back heel at a 45-degree angle and straighten the front leg, coming into Parsvottanasana. Soften your forehead to the front shin and hold for another breath or two. We'll readjust the back foot a little bit, so give yourself a little space. You can even turn the toes back a little bit so that your back foot is not quite parallel to the back of the mat. And come into triangle pose. You can either keep your right fingertips down or bring your right hand onto the right shin. Sweep the left arm up, opening to the left side of the room. Try peeking up if you can and holding for another deep breath. Low lunge, look down, bend the right knee, hands to the mat, turn on your back toes, walk your fingertips out front of the right foot. Blocks if you want to use them, lift the left leg up, coming into a supported warrior three. Option if you want to actually take it into warrior three. Keep the standing leg strong. Sweep the arms behind you, interlace all 10 fingers, and draw the shoulders back, lift away from the mat. Listen carefully. Step your left foot to the front of the mat. Give yourself a few inches of space between the feet and dive over the legs, keeping the arms overhead, fingers interlaced. Let's give it another deep breath. Let your hands and fingertips lower to the mat. Lift your chest. Step both feet all the way together this time. Sit deep in chair pose, Utkatasana, arms up. Dive over the legs, head down. Chest up, step back to plank. Breathe in. And exhale, chaturanga, or drop the knees. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, press back. And switching sides, we'll lift the left leg. Step to low lunge. Parsvottanasana, back heel 45-degree angle, straighten the left leg. Forehead to the shin, try to level the hips. Relax your toes, hold for one more breath. We'll readjust the back foot, step it back just slightly and widen the angle so your toes turn out just slightly. And either keeping your left hand or fingertips on the mat, lifting into triangle, Trikonasana, or take your left hand to your left shin for a little more height. Sweep the right arm up, opening to the right side of the room, and you can look right or peek up at your fingertips. Let's give it another full breath. Low lunge, peek down, bend the left knee, lower the hands, turn on the back toes, walk fingertips in front of the left foot, blocks if you want to use them. Supported warrior three, right leg up, hips level, chest up. You can hold it here or come into warrior three, lift up and away from the mat, interlace fingers behind you, chest forward, shoulders back, one more breath. Keeping the fingers interlaced, step the right foot up beside the left, few inches apart, head down, arms overhead as you fold. Take another deep breath. Lower your hands, fingertips to the mat, lift the chest. Step back into your plank pose. From your plank, bring your right knee through for pigeon pose. Left leg back. Sit tall, modify as you see fit. Props if you want to use them, like propping under the right hip or thigh. Chest up, walk your hands out. Lower the head down. And let's give it another deep breath or three. And bring the hands in, lift the head up. Roll to your outer right hip, sweep the left leg around. Bring both legs out front, bending up at your knees, reverse tabletop. Turn the fingertips in so they point to your hips. Separate the feet just a few inches apart, hip width distance. Press down, lift up, knees forward, head back, chest up, hips up. Relax the toes on the mat. Keep breathing, lift up. Give it another big inhale. Then exhale, hips down. Extend the legs straight out front. Hands on the legs, slide them out. Reach for your feet. Paschimottanasana. Feel free to grab a strap or belt if you need to reach the feet, or just let your hands rest on the legs. Let's hold for another full breath. Slide the hands back in, return upright, bend the right knee, step the right foot over, Ardha Matsyendrasana. As you twist to the right, you can keep the left leg straight, or you can bring your left foot in. Make sure your sit bones are level on the mat if you're doing that. Look to the right and hold for one more breath. Bring it back to center, little counter stretch, go left. Come back to center. Unwrap your legs, come onto hands and knees. We'll go right into pigeon on the other side. Bring the left knee through, right leg back. Sit tall, modify or props as you see fit. Chest up. When you're ready, walk the hands out. Lower the head down. Settle in with the breath. Keep it focused. And we'll take another 1 to 3 breaths. One more full breath. And bringing it in, hands, slide them in, lift the head up. Roll to your outer left hip, sweep the right leg around, both legs out front. Bending up at your knees, reverse tabletop, turn the fingertips in to point toward the hips. All 10 toes point forward. Separate the feet a little bit, hip width distance. Press down, inhale, come up. Without gripping toes on the mat, without lifting toes, just let the toes rest nice and easy. Head back, chest up, hips up, knees forward. One more big inhale. And exhale, lower down, slide the legs out front, straighten the legs, hands on your thighs, slide the arms out, reach for your feet. Paschimottanasana, nice seated forward fold. One more deep breath. And slide the hands in, lift the head up. Ardha Matsyendrasana, bend up at the left knee, step the left foot over. Take your twist, go to the left. You can keep the right leg straight or bend up at your right knee. Make sure both sit bones remain level on the mat. As you twist to your right, chest up, sit bones rooting down. Let's hold for another deep breath. Coming back to center, little counter stretch, go right. Return to center, unwrap the legs, then bending up at your knees, roll down onto your backs. Hugging your knees in toward the chest. Maybe rock a little if you like, maybe take a happy baby. And bringing it back in, you can either give yourself a brief breather in Supta Baddha Konasana with the soles of the feet together, knees out, hands on the legs, maybe put props or something underneath the knees if you like, blocks or rolled up blankets to help support the hips. If you want to go upside down, you can. If you want to take a little shoulder stand or modify any way you see fit. I'm actually going to go right into fish pose if you'd like to join me there. I'm taking a block with me on the long side behind me. The bottom part of the block is going to be somewhere in the middle of my back. Then I lay back, draw the shoulders around the block, head back, and my arms soften out toward the sides. Wherever you are, let's hold for another 2 or 3 deep breaths. If you're upside down, you can start coming out, making sure that you take your counter stretch. Because after this stretch, we will settle into Shavasana. Lowering out, releasing out, right? Removing any props from behind you. Return onto your backs, hug the knees in again. And releasing out, return onto your backs if you're not already there. Let go of the legs, extending them out on the mat. Separate the feet a little bit, give yourself some space, turn the palms up and close your eyes. Letting go of any ujjayi breath, just settle back, enjoying a few moments of stillness before returning to your day, allowing the body to have this time to restore and recover so that you feel better facing the rest of the day, a little bit more refreshed. Definitely feeling better than before you stepped onto the mat today. Feel free to stay for as long as you have time for today in your Shavasana. Otherwise, I will leave you here. Thank you again for sharing your practice with me. Until we meet again on the mat, namaste.